Hi everyone, welcome back to Spiritual Growth Tarot. I'm Denise, and this reading is for Donald John Trump's Tuesday, October 27th. I'm doing this on Sunday morning, so I can't know what's going to happen before then, except for through the cards, which is why I'm doing this. And for my new subscribers, thank you so much for subscribing. I really appreciate it. And also to let you know that if you're ever wondering what decks I'm using, I always put it in the description area down below the video, so you can just go there to see what the names of them are. Okay, so using the Lenormand first. Okay, let me focus and get inside. Donald John Trump's. Okay, so his health, his challenges, his emotional body, which includes, of course, his lymphatic system and his connective tissue, and then his mental body, which is, of course, his nervous system, and coordination, things like that. Okay, and then his destiny, which is his karma that he's been accruing. You know, the law of cause and effect moving in his life because of the choices that he has made in the past and continues to make. His karma. And what he's doing. And then his future. Okay, so I may draw more cards from this little deck later. It's usually what seems to happen. Okay, with the tarot, let's get back in. You guys, I apologize for saying this, but his energy is just so disgusting. Okay, so his health, the challenges to his health, his emotional body, mental body, karma hanging over him, destiny, what he's doing, and his future. Okay. All right, thanks for being patient with that. Okay, so the health of his body, he may be falling on his own swords. This isn't good either way. I mean, on a health level. Well, it can be, let's say, if you drew it for yourself and you're asking your higher self, what should I do today? You got this card? The answer is to rest and meditate. But we know that he doesn't do that. The only time he's down like this is, you know, probably on drugs and when he just gives out because he lives from a cycle of crash and burn. That's what he does. So with the Four of Swords reversed and then bringing in, you know, the health level into that, we're dealing with, well, you can tell there's this immobility, right? There's not much movement. So I don't know, maybe he's resting this day. Maybe that's what it is. But it's definitely the burnout type of thing, and it comes from usually, well, with him, it comes from a greedy place. And so there's no progress for him this day. And because we're in that realm, because you can see the spirit world up here, you know, when it's straight up. I mean, back in the old days when they created this card, the spirit world to them was the church. Well, we can see past that. We don't need an organized religion to tap into our spiritual essence. You know, we know who we are deep inside. We don't need a middleman to that. But back then, this was spiritual. So when you see this up here in this card, let it remind you that that's Jupiter. And then because it's trying to get to a balanced place where you're resting, which is the polar opposite of Aries, and you can imagine like Aries war, you know, like moving. This card represents the knight or the king or all the battle people that went into war. They would come back after war and give thanks, give gratefulness for the fact that they made it back. And they would lie on top of their I forget what you call that, but their coffin, sarcophagus, yeah. So, and so there's that gratefulness there. Well, he does, so that's the Libra, and that Aries Libra polarity. So, but we can look to this card as being Jupiter in Libra. Jupiter, spirit, expansion of spirit, Libra, balance. Well, when it's reversed, that's not happening, right? That ain't be happening. Oh, so in the health realm, if there are health problems, this can bring us into high blood pressure, because again, that Aries Libra polarity, and sometimes the immobility has to do with like blood sugar levels, diabetes, insulin, things like that. So for him, we don't know if he has, diabetes, because his doctors aren't honest about that. Okay, so the challenges, we have the Four of Pentacles. So his challenges is that he's really holding on. He's holding on for dear life. And, this is like the greedy person that holds on to, it's like, mine, mine, mine. Me, mine, mine, mine. Even his feet are on the coins, on the gold, on the throne, on the gold. This makes sense, him and his golden thrones. Yeah, all right. So but on a health level, it's Capricorn, of course, because it's the Pentacles. This can have to do with problems with your head, and it can have to do like head colds, because Capricorn can tend to be very cold. But it can also have to do with your bones and knees, and sometimes even digestion and eating disorders, because with it being a 4, we're in that realm of assimilation and processing things through. The 8s can be that as well, but the 4 creates stability. But in his situation, I just feel like it's really just holding on too much holding on, too much of a forcing current that says it has to be my way, and then from there he creates this crash and burn situation. Like he's really trying to hold on to his base at all these rallies, but he doesn't understand the illusory situation that he's in. I don't know that he totally gets how bad he's going to lose. Okay, so emotional body with the High Priestess, well, that's ruled by the moon, and that has to do with him hiding his emotions. This has to do with, on a higher level, this would be where a person needs to go in and connect with their higher self. We know that he doesn't do anything like that. So on a health level, we're in the realm, because it's ruled by the moon, and especially the moon in Cancer. So we're in that realm of water retention and gouts, things like that. Just anything to do with dehydration sometimes too, but everything to do with like mucous membranes, mucosa. Yeah, all the things they talk about with COVID, catching COVID. Okay, so mentally, nervous system, he really just wants to get away. I hope he's wanting something more peaceful, because that's usually the meaning of this card, is wanting to move away from the choppy emotional, or just choppy realm into something smoother. This is also a card of immigration. So he might be thinking a lot about his immigration policy. I do need to read on the kids on the border. I've been trying to get time for that. So I'm going to try later on today to get, or the rest of this morning, to get a lot of viewer requests videos done. So back to him on a nervous system level. Well, there's definitely the need for change. This is Mercury in Aquarius. And this has to do with wanting to jump ship. Like he's thinking of jumping ship, but he can't though, because what's on the other side for him if he just gives up and cuts and runs or resigns or anything like that? I mean, he can't, because he'll end up hastening the process of going to jail. So he's in a double bind here. It looks like he doesn't really want to be here, but he's hiding how he feels, and he's thinking about how he can get away, but I don't think that he can really be successful at that. I think he's really caught in a very, very challenging place. So this can be like the transition into some really bad health. That can happen. But you know, he's probably still riding on the wave of the roids. You know, he's still in his roid rage. Okay, his destiny, his karma, the law of cause and effect that is hanging over him based on all his past choices in his lifetime. Well, it's coming down on him. It's a really, really huge burden, or it's a huge burden that's really heavy, weighing down on him. And he's not in a position to really handle it well, because he's not resting and taking care of himself. He just goes. And, you know, of course this is burden, but it's burden on his, you know, count for not taking self-responsibility, not taking responsibility for anything, really. He just pushes it out and blames others. And that, when people do that, that just disempowers them further and further, and they don't realize it because they think they're pushing it off their shoulders, but it's really weighing heavily on their soul, and they have to carry that around with them, and they can't clear it out until they do take self-responsibility for everything in their lives, everything that they have created. So on a health level, it's Saturn in Sag. You can feel the Saturn with all the weight here, and then Sag because it's one of the fire signs that wants to move, and especially to move towards the truth. So because we're in the Sagittarius realm, which is also ruled by Jupiter, that tells me that there's liver problems again, you know, like gout, high blood pressure. And then because of Saturn, because of the weight there you go again in that same area of, you know, the bones, the skeletal system, joints, things like that. So, all right, let's keep going. What he's doing, well, he might be coming down on Bill Barr. Well, I think it's a lot of things, honestly. This is the King of Swords. This is the legal system. This is also any and every government employee, any and all scientists, any and all doctors, anybody that communicates in a way that he doesn't like and he wants to cut off or change. This is, when it's reversed, this guy is really, really vengeful and critical, and it can even be violent. But at the very least, you know, they're manipulative. But this is like the abusive tyrant when it's reversed. And on a health level, now with the court cards, you just go by the element. So with the swords, we're in the realm of you know, mental body communication issue. But this feels like, because this is part of the justice system when it's straight up, and we're, you know, that's in the sign of Libra. And I think this has something to do with his kidneys, and again, blood sugar, possibly diabetes. So, but I think this is more, I don't know if we care so much about his health by the time we get to this card, and maybe even this card as well. Maybe we do, I don't know, but these certainly paint the picture for his health. And I think it's more important for us to focus on what he's doing so that we can protect ourselves or know what's going forward. Okay, his future, well, he does not have a lot of strength. This is, when this card is reversed, there's a real imbalance in accessing whatever unconscious material that is running your life, because literally, you're unconscious of it and you don't want to get to the truth. And when that happens, it has to come back to you and be mirrored to you from the outside so that you can make adjustments. And of course, this is the Leo card. So it just, it's weakness, it's boredom, it's exhaustion. Maybe he'll finally have some laryngitis and not be able to, roar so much. But yeah, it's excessive, of course, and excessive going in the wrong direction. Like straight up, it could be giving a lot of love and encouragement to other people, but reverse, that's not what's happening. So we can see that that's his future. Okay, so bringing in the Lenormand, well, with the tree card in the position of the health of his body, this is a health issue. So he still is ill, and he's using all kinds of meds. I probably need to do another reading on his relationship with his doctor. Okay, and then the challenge is to his heart. So his heart's not doing well. He has issues in the heart health area. Emotionally, yeah, he just wants to get away. Mentally, he's blocked, even though he does want to get away, but he also can't. Nervous system level, he's very blocked. So that tells me, that really reinforces the meaning of this card on a health level when there's a diagnosis of bad health, and especially with these cards. So that's what will block him. So that tells me, we're in the area of strokes, we're in the area of, something not working in his head. Of course his head doesn't work right. He's a very mentally ill man. The karma, the destiny that's hanging over him is with the public. It's with all of us. And of course he's going around to all of his, he's doing his rallies, and those are super spreader events, and it's coming back out into the news. Finally, the news is letting us know what we've always known intuitively, and logically. I mean, anybody with a functioning brain can look at that and go, oh my gosh, what is that going to create? And then, a month later we find out, we figure it out. We figure out how many people died after a super spreader event in that same area. He's the one that has been going around the United States that brought it, because, it started out West Coast Washington, and then East Coast New York, and then Florida. But him going around to a super spreader events, traveling all over the United States, he brought it into the Midwest. He brought it into the center, so there you go. And it's not, Florida went to Texas, but he's the one that went in. He went to, he's gone to Pennsylvania, he's gone to Iowa, he's gone to, I think, Kansas. He's gone everywhere that he thinks that he needs to be. He's gone to Arizona, he's gone to Nevada, went to California. I don't know what he thought he was going to accomplish there. And here we have the card that represents traveling domestically, not by air, but domestically. Well, he does it by air, and then everyone else does it domestically to get to him. So that's what he's doing. He's still trying to, get over go all around the world and get everybody to vote for him. And in his future, I think that everybody is going to see his extremely selfish ways. I mean, I would hope that the people, I truly would hope that the people in, that go to his rallies, or that had gone to his rallies, I would hope that there are many of them that see, like, okay, I went to his rally and then I came home and contaminated my mother who lives with me, or some new baby that was born a week later, or, you know what I mean? It's just, it's really, really awful. All right, let's get some more for his... I want first 2 more cards for this, what he's doing. What is it that he's doing that we need to know about? Yeah, he's traveling around to get the votes. The letter card can represent any ballot vote. This could also have to do with election fraud. Yeah. That's right. There he is right there. Or there it is right there. Election fraud. Election loss. Stealing ballots. Wow. He's doing everything he can to cheat. Okay. 2 cards to add for his future. Yeah, rinse and repeat. He's with the whip. He's just going to keep repeating it because he's really trying to create a safe foundation for his future. But he won't, because this is the abusive White House. The abuse in the White House because of his selfishness. And that's going to bring in more virus. This is the lungs. This is an issue with the lungs. This is the virus. This is confusion and doubt. And he is trying to sow doubt. He's saying that that if he loses, it's because it could only be because it's rigged. Meanwhile, he and his cronies are running around trying to do everything they can to, still doing things to slow down the mail. And he's got his, he's got his shout outs to Proud Boys and, what is it, Boogaloo Boys or something like that. Yeah, Boogaloo Boys. White supremacists. He has his shout out to them to, go and protect the polling places. Well, that's a felony if you interfere. So you can always just call the FBI straight up on that. So, okay. So that's all I have for him. I'm going to draw some cards for us. And while I'm doing that, I wanted to let you know that I posted in the community section. So I encourage everyone to go and look at this little 5-minute clip that was on Showtime's The Circus, and they interviewed Bob Bauer, and he's an election security expert, and that last couple of sentences that he said about the elections and the protection that we have in place will just set your mind and your soul at ease, and your emotional body. You'll be at ease if you listen to that. So go to my little community section. It was the very last thing I posted, so it should be up at the top. Okay, so what is it that we need to know? Getting through this time, getting down to the wire. Okay, we're approaching a week to the date. Flamingo says, oh, yeah, embrace the in-between. Yeah, that in-between where you don't really know what's going to happen. But there's also that pure potentiality to create what it is you're trying to bring in. And that is something that really needs to happen. Now, maybe this has something to do with Florida. because of the flamingos. But this feels like, again, we need to just keep visualizing what we really want. So peaceful integrity with the ballots in Florida and the voting, the entire voting process in Florida. Dragonfly says truth transcends illusion. That is absolutely right. You know, there are many, many, many things that are true whether or not you believe in them. And there are a lot of superstitious things that aren't true, so you don't need to believe in them. So the truth that transcends illusion is that love is the only thing that is real, and it's the only thing that we have brought in with us that goes back with us. It's the only thing that is truly eternal. And then we've had this card before. So Coyote says, trust in the divine detours. Okay. So I think that this is one of those perfect weeks to be really careful about watching too much on the news. Maybe just get your information from reputable news sites like MSNBC or Washington Post or New York Times, and then other ones who are sharing their information. And there's many others out there too that are reputable, but to be really careful about the spin that's going to be happening over this next period, because that with Coyote it can be very tricky. It's like, look over here, and then they're doing something over there. So this could be, look over here while they're creating problems with Florida. But again, like when you watch that Bill Bauer interview, you'll see that, you know, Trump can't rig the election in all 50 states. He can't. That's one of the beautiful things about our voting process, is that it's not federal, it's state by state. So, yeah, okay, I don't really know what else to say about that other than just to know that you can, in your own personal life, create within reason just about anything that you want. But you have to be careful about how you get distracted away from that. And when you're in that in-between place when you don't really know what you want, sit with your higher self, trust your instincts, get a feel for what makes you happy, and then go towards that. And know that that will bring in the sustainability as well. Yeah, and if you want more information about manifesting and things like that, I will do a series of videos to teach you what I've known, but what has worked, what I've tried, what works. And meanwhile, if you watch my spiritual growth videos, I always dive into that, usually almost every day. And I do those videos every day. So sometimes they're about soul healing, other times they are about manifesting and all the stages in between. And the only other thing I want to say about that is that they're even though I'm doing them daily and it's supposed to be for that day, they're not. They're not time sensitive. So you can go back and watch the old ones. You can go all the way back to when I started in April, and there'll be something of value even in those old ones. So, okay. All right. Well, I'm going to close up this reading, and I thank you very much, and I send you lots of love and peaceful happiness, and I'll be back for Wednesdays. Okay. Thank you. Bye.